Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Hey, yo, check it out. Jay-Z is looking at being sued by Ramier, his alleged biological son. And now Ramier is being backed by 50 Cent. If Ramier proves that Jay-Z is in fact his biological father, that opens Jay-Z up to be, criminally charged with the Mann Act for transporting a person across state line for the purpose of engaging in illegal sexual activity. Do you think 50 Cent is wrong for going at Jay-Z with Ramier, Jay-Z's alleged biological son? Somebody put it in the comments. Somebody let me know. Let me explain this to you so y'all understand what's going on. Jay-Z was 22. Ramier's mother was 15. So if he proved that Jay is the biological father, that opens the door for a lawsuit. How? One, Ramier's mother's from Philly. She said they had a fling or a short relationship in Brooklyn. So that means she came across state line from Philadelphia to Brooklyn. So therefore, that's transporting someone for the purpose of illegal sexual activity. So that opens them up for the same thing Jay-Z just had. The same, not Jay-Z, Diddy, R. Kelly locked up for the same thing. And now we got Jay-Z. Jay-Z's been fighting, he got the bag, and he's real strategic. Gunshots to Jay-Z for being strategic. He went at Tony Busby like a pit bull. Tony Busby didn't forget about that. Tony Busby's already looking for how he gonna get back at him. Now Tony Busby picks up Ramier's case, and he's going at Jay-Z. Let's just get into this. I want to show y'all a video that I found that I like so we can see where we at. All right? Now, this is Ramier right here. We're going to run it back to the beginning. We're going to get you going. Let's see where we
really dawned on me. It's the Mann Act. My mom was underage when she consumed me. Anyone who would have been older.
15 and 22. Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now that means that Jay-Z's looking at federal time if it's proven that he is Ramier's biological father for removing the young child across state line. They already said things about Beyonce also being, young, but she was of age because she was 19 when he was in his 30s. So they trying to make it look like he got a track record. And, I don't pick sides. I just give you the raw. It's not looking good for Jay-Z. Jay-Z going at, let me just play this some more. We gonna go, man.
Now I can kind of see why he's probably not claiming it, because it looks bad on his reputation, because he has a history. Like if you look at even Beyonce, he was in his 30s and Beyonce was barely 19.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got
Yo, you see how he signed him a shot? Sorry to say that he signed him a marriage contract. Isn't that right now in today's term called prenuptial? Isn't that just a common thing when you talk about having a bag and getting married? But now he's shooting shots that it's a marriage contract. 50, round of applause for shooting shots. You're the best troll out there. The best troll out there.
Trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man.
Jay-Z.
Hey, yo, you heard what he said? He's saying that once Jay-Z got with Beyonce, he started getting Grammys left and right, so Beyonce boosted his career. Before that, 50's saying that Jay-Z was just a rapper like him. Now he blew past him, and 50's trying to show that it's because he got with Beyonce. Beyonce's love already had all, she don't call them the barbs. What do they call the Beyonce supporters? Put it in the comments. But what do you think about that? Do you think that it's because Jay-Z got with Beyonce while he got all those awards? Somebody put in the comment.
His alleged son, Raymir Wanda, just scored another major win.
And guess who's backing him now? 50 Cent. That's right. 50 officially offered to help Ramier sue Jay-Z, and this all comes right after a judge gave Ramier the green light to keep pushing forward with his case. Meanwhile, Jay's out here scrambling, and instead of cooperating, he put out a strange statement accusing Ramier of harassing him for years. Now Jay's legal team is getting aggressive too, threatening to expose what they claim are Ramier's lies in court.
Now, this is what I want to say. You know the same thing I said with Diddy. I'm going to say with anybody that get accused of anything. Let the process play out. Jay-Z, you've been quiet for many years, and I even took a play out of your playbook. When these rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public trolls, when they came at me when I started blowing and just came home and they couldn't believe that a real gangster was here on YouTube and the people is going to hear the real, they tried to come at me. And you know me, I'm a fighter, so I wanted to respond. And my team said, nah, you don't respond to these dudes. These is little peon platforms that's just trying to use your name to get, in the algorithm. Do like Jay-Z do. That's when I first heard that. They said, do like Jay-Z do and don't even respond. He said, do you think if you went up there right now and said that you beat up Jay-Z in 98 or in 88, that Jay-Z is going to get up there and respond to you? Do you think if, a rapper go up there saying that they better than Jay-Z, that little up-and-coming indie rapper, do you think Jay-Z will respond to them? Then why would you even think about responding to these little peons? So that's how I learned it. But now, while Jay-Z, can we ride? Now, while Jay-Z is shooting shots at this young man, now, what if it comes out that he is, in fact, Jay-Z's son? And Jay-Z's saying, going to expose the lies, he's going to this, he's going that. Jay, you got to be real confident, because when you talking about dropping your seed somewhere, you don't know where it might be fertilized at. A lot of us got baby mamas we don't even want. But if we had a choice to pick a baby mama, we wouldn't even pick the ones that we had 9 times out of 10. But then now you're sitting here and you talking like if you know for a fact he's not yours. I just showed y'all the picture, right? Let's go look at the picture, right? Now, does this young man look like Jay-Z to you? Y'all put it in the comments. I'm not even going to give my opinion. Here go Ramier, and here go Jay-Z. Do they look alike to you? Here go Jay-Z, Ramier, young Jay-Z. Does they look alike to you? Somebody put it in the comments. And do you think Jay-Z is right or wrong for going at, this young man like that, saying he's going to expose what he said in court? Let's get back to this, man, because it gets really complicated when you're dealing with things like this, because things could really get out of hand, and we don't want it to get out of hand like that.
But let's be real. Jay's doing everything except taking that DNA test, which could settle this whole thing in a second. But here's where things get seriously shady. Word on the street is that the real reason Jay keeps dodging the test has to do with how old Ramier's mother was when she had him.
How old was she when you were born?
15 going on 16.
And everything saying that they had met. Now, how old was Jay-Z at the time?
I think like 22.
Look how he's sitting there with the glass laying back. See, that's like some I got you moment. That's how he did. Like a I got you moment. He got his little wine and he said, yeah, he was 22, she was 16. But they know what time it is. Jay-Z got everything to lose on this right here, man. So right now, 50 putting the bag behind Ramier to sue, to get the paternity test read out. Now, if they read the paternity test, it comes out that Jay-Z is the biological father. That means Jay-Z is now opening up himself towards the Mann Act, because he took it allegedly from Philly to Brooklyn to have this little fling that turned into this young man. Somebody put in the comments if y'all understand how deep this really is.
According to Ramier, his mom Wanda wasn't even a legal adult when 22-year-old Jay allegedly got her pregnant. So now people are asking, what's Jay really hiding? And it gets even messier. Everyone remembers how Jay almost got dragged down with Diddy after one of Diddy's accusers said Jay and Diddy gripped her when she was just 13. The accuser later dropped the case, but she just popped back up, saying she never took back her claims. She says the only reason she dropped the lawsuit was because Jay allegedly sent private investigators to scare her off. And here's what's really wild. The media is silent. Not a peep from big platforms like TMZ or The Shade Room.
Now, you see the way Jay-Z went at Tony Busby, so you think TMZ want to really spend that bag to fight Jay-Z's bag for them saying something negative about Jay-Z? Come on, man. See, right now, the big networks, could we ride? Right now, the big networks, to me, they seem like, schoolyard bullies. They picking fights they think they could win. They don't feel they can win with Jay-Z and Jay-Z back in court, so therefore they're not saying nothing about Jay-Z. But they was all over the place with this Diddy thing, and then now they quiet about Jay-Z. And even a young lady said she was forced to drop the case against Jay-Z because he had people coming to her house, allegedly. You see how complicated this is? Y'all really paying attention to this?
They won't post anything that puts Jay in a bad light. And if you don't believe it, go search their pages for the Ramier story. It's crickets. This whole story has been trending for weeks, but the big-name celeb news outlets are straight up pretending it doesn't exist. Same thing they did with that Jane Doe case. Not one of them reported on it. And get this, just last week, a judge tossed out Jay-Z's defamation lawsuit against attorney Tony Busby, who just so happens to be repping Jane Doe. So, yeah, there's definitely some shady sweeping under the rug going on. And let's be honest, most bloggers seem way too shook to speak on Jay-Z. But you know who's not scared? 50 Cent. He's been going all in, recently roasting Jay for ducking that DNA test. And now word is, 50 actually hit up Ramier and offered him his own legal team to fight this thing. You can tell Jay's feeling the pressure.
50 offered Ramier his own legal team to go up against Jay-Z. Do y'all think that's wrong or right? Put in the comments what you think about that. I want to hear what y'all got to say.
Lawyers are scrambling, trying to shut down Ramier's case by launching a full-blown PR campaign to make him look unstable.
Documents submitted on June 16th, Jay-Z slams a recent lawsuit that Ramier and Lily filed against him as just the latest in what he says has been decades-long harassment. The documents read, "The fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed."
But come on, why spend all this cash on lawyers and damage control when a simple, cheap DNA test could end it all?
Since your father, I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that.
You see, I like this kid, right? The reason why I like this kid is because he's keeping it 100. What I think, right? Because I'm a ride. What I think, right? I think Jay-Z should really sit down, talk to this young man, go ahead, do the DNA test with him, keep it on the low, and let the kid know, yo, I got too much to lose if I'm found guilty of this. If I'm outed as, your biological father, and even look at him, tell him, I believe I am your father. But right now, I can't take a test to put my name on nothing because right now it'll cost me my career. Take this $10 million out, this $1 billion that me and my wife got. Stay low, you, my son, whatever you need, I got you. You want a rap career, I'll help you. Not out of fear, but just because you are my biological son or maybe my biological son. But right now, you as a man, you know the situation I'm in because you are up-and-coming rapper trying to get on. So imagine if it come out that I had X with your mother when she was 15, going on 16, and I was 22. I bred her, and she had you, and I moved her across state line. Now I'm opening myself up to the Mann Act. Yo, come on, Ramier, you trying to make me go down like that, and you saying that I'm your father, and you don't want nothing? Take this $10 million, sit your ass down. We could go ahead and do the paternity test, but just sign this saying that, we'll keep the paternity test, what they call that confidential. What do you think? Would you go at it like that, or would you go at it like Jay going at this kid, calling him a liar, talking about how he's going to expose him in the courtroom and everything else? Y'all put in the comments and let me know where we at with that, But that's how I feel Jay-Z should handle it. Sit down and talk to him. If it's your son, you don't want to abandon your son. You don't want that karma on you. Every man that abandoned their son and didn't claim their kids, they wound up having the worst of luck because karma don't play. We talking about a human life. We talking about trauma. This is trauma this young man is going through, having to know that or feel in his heart this is his father. And now his father is battling him just to say that he's his father. But then, Ramier, you got to keep in mind, Jay-Z looking at losing a lot if it come out. So that's why, Jay-Z, you shouldn't be ruffling the feathers with Lil Ramier like that, because, you know, he gonna push the issue in the court. I never heard of nobody being able to duck no paternity test. You know, they use the technicalities to stop this young man from getting Jay-Z to take a paternity test. I never heard of that. You know, and then now you're saying that you're gonna expose the lies that he said in court. Of course, this is a kid. He wasn't even born. He's talking about before his mother was born, and his mother passed, rest in peace. So therefore, for him to do, you know, for him to help work with the lawyer to write it up, all he could say is hearsay what he heard from his mother or from other people. So of course certain things might not be right. So Jay, to go exposing those things that might not be right with someone who wasn't there, and he's saying he wasn't there, he's very articulate and he looks just like you. I think you should really think twice about what you're doing. I mean, I know right now you got the $1 billion bag, so what you care about listening to a little podcast named Unique Mega Audio that was already out there, know what time it is. Come on, dog. Stop it. You know? And the young man didn't ask to be here. The young man is just trying to find out who he is, his identity, and he has a right to that. And the court system is there for that, but the young man's accusing Jay-Z of using the court to, you know, to weaponize the court against him, you know, to keep the truth and this biological test, you know, paternity test out the public.
I've been through a lot. Seeing a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing. Like, you know, it's not fair.
That's what's got everyone talking. It just doesn't add up. And now, with Ramier holding solid receipts and 50 Cent backing him, Jay might finally be out of moves. Let's break down 50's role in all this. He jumped headfirst into the drama between Jay and Ramier. First trolling Jay on Instagram, pointing out how much Ramier and Jay look alike, but he didn't stop there. Sources close to the situation say 50 reached out directly to Ramier and offered his powerhouse legal team to support the case. Oh, and let's not forget the cryptic post 50 dropped on IG. A good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge. Whoa, this could change everything. Until now, Ramier's case was completely buried, ignored by all the big media outlets like it never existed. But ever since 50 Cent jumped in, Jay-Z's legal team has gone full panic mode, scrambling to shut it all down before things blow up. Jay just filed fresh court papers, begging the judge to dismiss Ramier's case. According to docs snagged by US Weekly, Jay claims Ramier's lawsuit is nothing but the latest chapter in what he calls decades of harassment. He's trying to paint Ramier as some sort of long-time troublemaker. Jay's filing says all these so-called made-up claims were already tossed out in other courts, and that Ramier's refusal to let it go even led to a contempt of court order.
Come on, Jay. If you're so confident and you're going at it so cocky, just take the test. If you're not going to take the test, sit Ramier down and talk to the young man, and y'all come up with a solution, and y'all take the test, and y'all look at the paperwork, you keep it out, you let him know, if I'm not your father, you leave this. If you say anything about it, you're done. I can sue you for everything and all that old legal rammer jammer. But if it turns out that I am the father, I will bless you and look out for you as my child. But I have a wife now that knew nothing about this, that's in the public figure. They're saying that because I married her, now I'm winning all these Oscars, and now you want to put me in a position not only to be locked up if your mother, you know, turns out to be right, and I am the father, because your mother was only 15 or 16 when I was 22. So I could lose my freedom, lose my name, lose everything, and possibly be charged on the RICO. Because, you know, once that happened, the same thing like Diddy, all types of crazy stories are going to come out with people saying Jay-Z traveled with him across state line, and we know Jay-Z was a rock and roller from back in the 90s when he was with Rockefeller. So they'll say anything. And before you know it, you got a RICO with a bunch of other females saying this, and a bunch of ex-grunter workers come back saying this and that. Somebody tell me what's going on here, man.
But here's where it flips, because Ramier's former legal guardian, Dr. Lily Kohley, who's also a paralegal, just clapped back hard at Jay. She's calling out his filing as full of lies. Dr. Kohley made it clear this story was not fabricated. She says Wanda's affidavit has been in the court records for years and has never been taken back. That affidavit is exactly what Raymir based his whole understanding of his paternity on. And about that contempt claim, Dr. Kohley says Jay is straight up wrong. She insists that neither Raymir, Wanda, nor herself has ever been held in contempt of court. But the biggest bombshell, Dr. Kohley said one thing loud and clear. The question of Ramir's paternity has never actually been settled in court, so Jay's team might want to slow down, because this case is far from over. Dr. Kohley didn't hold back. She wrote that there has never been a discovery hearing or final ruling that officially answers the question of Jay-Z's paternity. She said these facts keep getting ignored in the public conversation, but there's another detail that keeps getting left out. And that's how old Ramir's late mother, Wanda, was when she got pregnant by Jay-Z. Now let's break it down with the facts. Raymir first made headlines back in early 2015 when news broke that he had filed a paternity suit against Jay-Z in 2014. He and his guardian, Dr. Lily Kohley, submitted their first complaint, and right from the start, things got sketchy in court. That complaint got dismissed almost instantly. Dr. Kohley says the reason it was thrown out is because Jay-Z and his lawyer, Lisa Fisher, allegedly brought in false and fraudulent info. But Raymir didn't back down. In 2018, he came back swinging with new legal papers, this time accusing Jay of using his fame and deep pockets to dodge a paternity test. Here's where it gets shady. Raymir kept getting blocked in court because the judge was reportedly told his real dad had already been confirmed. But when the son got a hold of Ramir's birth certificate, it showed something wild. No father listed at all. And it doesn't stop there. The real twist came when Raymir found out that some folks on his own legal team were secretly in contact with Jay-Z's lawyers behind closed doors. In an interview with The Sun, Raymir said he's been robbed of a fair hearing in court, blaming it on major legal mistakes and straight-up malpractice. He also shared that his mom, Wanda, first told him Jay-Z was his dad when he was around 8 years old. According to Wanda, she and Jay had a brief fling back in 1992 at his aunt's apartment in the Brooklyn projects.
That's transportation for illegal sexual activity, if that statement is in fact true. And if it turns out that he is the paternity, that would show DNA evidence that he went up in this minor, allegedly, back in 1992, back in Brooklyn, that was taken all the way from down in Philly. Y'all put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think of that. Remember to subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, man. All right, Juanita Mecca Audio. Let's keep it going.
Wanda told Raymir that she and Jay used protection, but it failed. After that, she never saw him again and had no way to contact him. By 2010, Wanda's health started to decline, and that's when Lily Kohley was officially granted custody of Raymir. Lily later spoke to The Sun and revealed something major. She said Wanda got pregnant not long after meeting Jay, and she was just 15 or 16 years old at the time. And it gets even wilder. According to a 2018 lawsuit Raymir filed in Philadelphia,
he was shot at. Damn. Somewhere in September. He was in a parking lot with other people near where he's at living now. And out of all the cars there, his was the only one shot up. So we believe that that was a nexus or a connection, I believe, between the case and what's going on, because it was around the time.
Jay-Z's attorney allegedly had Wanda sign legal documents while she was still in the hospital recovering from a medicated coma. Those papers replaced Lily's name on the petition, and the switch was done without permission and for shady reasons.
In addition to that, we've had people come to my home in the past, driving on the grass. We have people knocking on the door at 4 o'clock in the morning. We've been through all of it, mostly around the filing time.
That stunt ended up getting the case tossed out of the Philly court, and Ramir's family said they'd never seen anything that corrupt. But it gets even darker. When Raymir and Dr. Kohley appeared on Hip Hop News Uncensored, they dropped a bomb. Raymir was shot after filing his lawsuit against Jay-Z, and that's not all.
This is a bigger picture than this. We want to try to make a difference with the Pro Se Act or the Legal Abuse Act bringing new legislation and trying to sit down at the table with the lawmakers to make a difference. In addition to the fact, because, like you said before, Mr. Carter might not never do anything, and I'm sure he probably won't, but it ain't about him. This is about the system allowing things to happen that were very egregious and put our lives at stake in some regards. So I just wanted to say that's what another reason why we were still going to the criminal stuff for the second time. This time the prosecutor's office locally did get involved, but everything is slow moving and things are happening, and it's corruption going on. The law says in New Jersey that if the person who resists to take the test is presumed the father. That's what the law says.
The lawyer says if the person refuses to take the test, that means he's the father. That means that if you don't defend yourself, you're guilty. What do you think about that? Somebody talk to me. Put it in the comments.
Here in New Jersey, anybody who don't want to do it and go away from doing it or prevents from doing it is presumed the father. So right now, he's presumed the father. He's not even alleged.
Lily claimed that once the legal case went public, random strangers started showing up at her house trying to intimidate her into staying quiet. She made it clear this isn't just about one man. Lily said this case is about calling out corruption and pushing for new laws to stop the rich and powerful from bending the system to their will. Meanwhile, Ramier is not letting up. He filed a whole new lawsuit, this time against the New Jersey court system and several judges, accusing them of secretly teaming up with Jay-Z for over 10 years to get his cases tossed. In this lawsuit, Ramier and Dr. Kohley claim Jay-Z even lied under oath, telling the court he didn't own any property in New Jersey, just to make it seem like the court had no legal power over him. And now
that means no legal jurisdiction.
Now things are reaching a whole new level because Ramier's latest lawsuit is putting everyone on blast. Not just Jay-Z, but also judges, lawyers, and even court officials who he claims worked behind the scenes to protect Jay for years. In this new filing, Ramier says there's been a coordinated cover-up and he's demanding a full investigation into how his cases were handled from day one. According to court records, Ramier believes powerful people used their influence to block him from getting a fair hearing. He's saying that judges purposely delayed rulings, ignored key evidence, and even refused to allow his legal team proper access to court documents. This isn't just a legal battle anymore. This is turning into a major fight for justice that's exposing deep cracks in the system. Dr. Kohley is standing by Ramier through all of it. She says the goal now isn't just to prove who Ramier's father is, it's to shine a light on how the courts can be manipulated when someone's got enough money and fame. And let's be real, the fact that Jay-Z still hasn't agreed to take a simple DNA test speaks volumes.
I'm not a lawyer. They try to use all type of things, res judicata and all type of things to say, hey, whoever was on his birth certificate, that was the, that was the dad. And that's not how the courts work. So we did everything we had to do to, show them that wasn't. The person I was calling my pop took the DNA test. It was straight out there. Only other name was Jay-Z. They basically just sawed it and skedaddle. They try to use all this craziness to hold the case up, and I'm like, well, damn, if this was anybody else, I'm like, all right, the first 2 years.
They would have ordered them by now. They do that. Hey, take the test. Hell, in most cases, you can start drawing child support without a goddamn paternity. It makes them want to come to.
Meanwhile, the public's waking up. More and more people are starting to question why this case has been buried for so long and why the media is still refusing to report on these explosive claims. If Jay-Z has nothing to hide, why not just take the test and end it all? And with 50 Cent riding hard for Ramier, the pressure's building fast. Sources say 50 is now pushing for a full documentary on the case to make sure the truth can't be ignored any longer. If that drops, it could shake up the entire industry and finally force people to face what's really been going on behind the scenes. This story isn't going away. It's only getting louder.
If it was anything, if y'all felt like we was lying, why y'all ain't dismiss the case with prejudice? Why do y'all keep having us come in there and file and pay all this money and keep filing and filing for years? Why? If y'all didn't see anything wrong with the case, why is it not over? But the only thing I'm asking is, I don't want no money from you. If you want to have that relationship, if it was true, that's just on you. I'm just showing you that I'm fighting for what I believe in is right, and I want all the kids and everyone that come behind me. if you missing the parents, it's all about, sometimes that's all you need to know your parents is. You don't need nothing from them. It close the book. It just helped me, go on with my life and just be straight. It's not like I'm looking for anything, looking for you to bring me up where you at or bring me with your family and all. I still got my own family, but I just want you to be like, just think about it. Like, we could have got this, over with, and through all this, I still respect you, even though I might not like you. I respect everybody.
I was gonna say, how do you view him now?
And it's like,
Hey, yo, hold up. I just heard a bunch of crap. Did you hear him say that? I'm just keeping it 100. We ain't picking sides. This is a gangster channel. He say, I don't want no money. I don't want no this. I don't want no that. So why you couldn't just talk to Jay-Z and say, look, let me present this to you. I just want to know if you my father. I don't want nothing if you don't want to give me nothing, but I just need this for my closure and for my peace of mind. I'll sign whatever your lawyers put together that I will keep the answer to this paternity test. If you're my father, quiet, and that you don't owe me a dime, I just want you to, help me find out so I could eliminate you or, use the process of elimination for who my father may be. I understand my mother was a young child at the time. She couldn't make proper decisions, so it might have been somebody else even. I don't know. But she told me it was you. I respect you. I respect your gangster, but I just need to know who my father is. I don't want nothing from you, so get your lawyer to put it in writing. I'm not going to slander you. And I'm not even going to say a word to anyone. This is just for my piece of comfort. Because he's of age now. He could have went to Jay-Z if that was the case, and Jay-Z can go to him and say, look, dog, this is what we going to do. I'm going to give you $5 million. We're going to take this test. Whatever it turned out, if it turned out that I am the father, I'm going to look out for you. If it turns out that you're not, I'm going to even give you another $5 million so you can get your life started, but you just sign this, something like a prenup saying that you're going to keep it yourself, and that's what it is, because I got too much to lose, but I do want to know if you're my biological son as well, because if you are, I want to make sure you're straight, even though I can't bring you around my immediate family, because my wife that they're accusing of getting all these Grammys handed to me from once I married her, would leave me, and I can't stand to leave her, so you know how that is as a dude, I'm in a catch-22. He could have said anything. What do y'all think about any of this? Put it in the comments. It's almost over.
And when I say I don't like you, it's not even it's just that I feel like, y'all sit at the top and y'all forgot where y'all came from, and sometimes you got to bring yourself down to the bottom. You can't sit at the top and think all these, I'm rich and all that. And if I go to court, this would affect this. And sometimes you just got to get it over with. If you believe this wasn't true, it would have been over with, And for you to let me just sit here and after all this, my mom passed away. And I'm not saying you physically, but dragging us to court and all that, not taking care of the problem. It's just, you let it happen. So it's like, you could have got this over with. If it wasn't true, we could have, I would apologize. I apologize in front of the world. Hey, it could have been done, but obviously it's something you hide.
But Ramir's team came through with receipts. They uncovered property deeds and tax records with Jay-Z's name on them, proving he did have property in New Jersey. Yet somehow, 6 different judges, named in Ramir's latest complaint, kept backing Jay's claim that he didn't own any real estate there. According to Ramier, these judges worked with Sean Carter to keep his case buried. Ramir's lawsuit straight up says Jay used his money, power, and connections to twist the court system in his favor, which led to Ramir's past cases being thrown out or blocked before they could even get started. And it doesn't stop at legal drama. Things turn scary. After Ramier started speaking out about the injustice he faced, his car was allegedly shot at by unknown people. He and Dr. Kohley say they were being followed in their own neighborhood, and random cars started pulling up onto their lawn at 4 a.m.
Jay-Z got a son out in Philly. In my personal opinion, the reason why I feel like Jay don't want to take that paternity test is because it proves that boy mama was probably 15, 16 years old. And it gives credibility to the current circumstances that Jay-Z is in.
They firmly
Well said. Do y'all believe that? Put it in the comment.
believe all of this was meant to scare them, and they're pointing fingers at Jay-Z's camp. That's why Ramier and Lily are now suing not just Jay, but the entire court system and the judges involved, accusing them of violating their constitutional rights and stopping a young man from getting the truth he deserves. They even sat down with Tasha K and confirmed again. Wanda was just 15 or 16, and Jayz was 22 when she got pregnant. Ramier explained that the court tried to toss out his paternity claim by saying the man on his birth certificate must be the dad. But he already took a DNA test with that man and it came back negative. And Ramier is not chasing fame or money. He said if it turns out Jayz isn't his father, he'll publicly apologize. But if the court...
So what if he is your father though, Ramier? Would you publicly say that you don't want nothing from him, you just wanted to know? Will you be willing to put that in writing? Because right now, Jayz looking at being locked up for being with a minor, and that's his mother, and he just want to find out if he's the father, Then where we gonna go from there if it turns out that he is the father and that Jay was with this child when she was underage and fathered her? So that's something that Ramier have to sit down with Jayz to really get straight for Jayz to put down this armor, but I believe the courts is going to break it down. And like Cat Williams said, 2025 is going to be the time for the big deviants to be exposed. And right now, we're going to find out if Jayz is allegedly one of those big deviants that Cat Williams spoke about. You see, we already had Shannon Sharp just settled for, the 50 million. I'm going to do something on Shannon Sharp, too, because I can have some fun with that dude. But, that's where we at, So let's get back to this.
Court really believed he was lying? Why didn't they just dismiss the case with prejudice? Oh, and here's the craziest part. Folks are now whispering that Wanda's age might not be the only reason Jay's been avoiding that DNA test. The truth could be something even darker. This story is far from over, and it's only getting deeper. So if you want to stay locked in on...
So that's where we at. What do y'all think about that? Do you think this young man looked like Jayz? Do you think that's Jayz's child? Do you think that that young man should sit down with Jayz, being that he's saying he don't want no money, he just want to know the truth, to sit down with Jayz and they take a secret paternity test that they deal with as men, as father and son, as son and father? But I do believe Jayz do need to handle this because it's getting out of hand, but how he handle it, that's on him. Been here long enough. I'm ready to go outside. Let's be out of here, man. My outro and intro, the volume ain't working, so I'm not even going to waste my time putting it up there for y'all. I'm going to just let you know, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. All right. Oh, yeah, make sure you go back and watch the video with Washington, D.C. I went through the projects in D.C. I'm trying to figure out a cover to hit the algorithm and the title and all that because, I don't do that type of vlogging and all that. I just tell my stories and give y'all jewels and game. So I'm inviting you to go back and look at the video about Washington, D.C. put up last week. All right, show me going through the projects with young 9 Milli, Cadet, Shaq, the whole 9. Linwood, Lynch Mob, D.C. hooked up with Lynch Mob, New York, loose end. We in it. All right.